10. Addictions God allows only in chosen ones. Their hidden purpose will shock you. Are you a chosen one? Do you feel different, restless, or even misunderstood by those around you? You're not alone, and there's a reason why your spirit feels this way. In this powerful video, we explore 7 addictions that God allows only in chosen ones and the hidden purposes behind them. From the craving for solitude to the hunger for truth, the obsession with growth, the pull toward meaningful relationships, and the unshakable fixation on destiny. Each of these divine compulsions is not a random struggle. They are the very mechanisms God uses to prepare you for greatness. These cravings refine your spirit, awaken your potential, and position you for impact in ways others may never understand. We dive deep into how these divine hungers manifest, why they make your journey unique, and how embracing them can accelerate your spiritual growth, sharpen your discernment, and align you with your true calling. Every heartbreak, every season of waiting, every internal pull is a divine signal pointing you toward your destiny. If you've ever felt out of place, restless, or intensely driven by forces you couldn't explain, this video will reveal the spiritual purpose behind your experiences. God is shaping you, refining you, and preparing you to rise above ordinary life. Watch until the end to discover how your divine cravings are not a curse. They are the blueprint of your rise, the key to unlocking your destiny, and the proof that you are truly chosen. 1. The addiction to solitude. Because their ears are tuned to heaven. For most people, solitude feels like emptiness. But for a chosen one, solitude is oxygen. It's not a place they escape to. It's a dimension they rise into. While others fear silence because it exposes them, chosen ones enter silence because it reveals God. This addiction to solitude isn't a personality trait, it's a spiritual calibration. God tunes their ears in the quiet the same way a master musician adjusts an instrument before a performance. Noise weakens their senses, but stillness sharpens them. In solitude, they don't hear their insecurities. They hear instructions. They don't hear their fears. They hear divine strategy. They don't hear people's opinions. They hear God's whispers that rewrite the course of their destiny. Many chosen ones don't even understand why they feel this magnetic pull to be alone. They might think something is wrong with them, when in truth, something is right. God isolates the ones He elevates. It's not punishment. It's preparation. He removes them from crowds because destiny is never downloaded in chaos. The greatest assignments require the clearest signals, and those signals only come through when all earthly noise is muted. In solitude, chosen ones begin to notice the things others overlook: shifts in the spirit, subtle warnings, divine alignments. They start to see life with a prophetic sharpness, a kind of inner knowing that can't be taught. That is why their instincts are unusually accurate. That is why their discernment feels supernatural. Their ears aren't trained by experience, they're trained by heaven. And the irony is profound. The more God prepares them for people, the more He first separates them from people. Their solitude becomes their sanctuary, their training ground, their secret place. It is where their identity is clarified, their assignment is whispered, and their strength is restored. This addiction to solitude is not a flaw. It is a divine signal that they are marked, set apart, and being groomed for something bigger than themselves. God hides His strongest warriors in silence, so they emerge with a roar the world cannot ignore. 1. The hunger for truth, even when it breaks them. Most people run from truth because it disrupts their comfort. But chosen ones run toward truth, even when it cuts, even when it hurts, even when it shatters the illusions they once held dear. This isn't something they learned. It's something God embedded into their spiritual DNA. Chosen ones have an inner compass that violently rejects deception. They can feel dishonesty in their bones, sense hidden motives in a room, and detect spiritual danger before it ever reveals itself. This hunger for truth is not gentle. It is fierce, relentless, unexplainable. They cannot pretend not to know what they know. They cannot unknow what God reveals. While others cling to comforting lies, chosen ones crave clarity the way thirsty soil craves rain. They would rather be wounded by truth than protected by falsehood. They do not fear exposure, they fear blindness. This intensity often isolates them. People accuse them of being too sensitive, too suspicious, or too intense. But what others label as sensitivity is actually spiritual radar. What others call overthinking is divine insight. What others view as suspicion is discernment sharpening itself. God didn't give them this hunger to make life difficult. He gave it to them because their assignment requires vision. Chosen ones are not meant to blend in with illusions. They are meant to expose them. Their calling is to walk into dark places and reveal what others pretend not to see. They carry truth like a torch. Sometimes it warms, sometimes it burns, but it always illuminates. This is why betrayal hits them harder. Lies feel poisonous. Deception feels suffocating. They don't just dislike dishonesty, they feel spiritually allergic to it. And that discomfort is divine, because the truth they discover in private becomes the authority they walk with in public. Their hunger for truth is God's way of ensuring they never fall for counterfeits, never lose themselves in illusions, and never surrender their purpose to deception. Chosen ones don't merely seek truth, they embody it. And that is why darkness fears them. 1. The craving for deep purpose. Shallow lives suffocate them. Chosen ones are not built for small, predictable, or ordinary lives. They may try to fit in, settle, or walk the easy path, but something inside them refuses to stay silent. It starts as a whisper, then grows into a pull, then a fire, purpose. While others are satisfied with routine, comfort, or applause, chosen ones feel spiritually starved by anything that lacks depth. Shallow conversations drain them. Meaningless environments irritate their spirit. Mediocre lifestyles feel like cages. This craving for deep purpose is not a desire. They experience it like a need. They can't ignore their destiny without feeling a spiritual suffocation. Even when they attempt to live like everyone else, they feel an inner agitation, a divine discomfort that keeps pushing them back to the path God designed for them. This restlessness is intentional. God installs it as a compass. It won't let them settle in wrong relationships, false identities, or temporary comfort zones. He places a holy dissatisfaction in them so that nothing looks appealing unless it aligns with their calling. Chosen ones often go through seasons where they feel disconnected, misunderstood, or out of place. This is not because they are lost, it's because their spirit recognizes they are meant for more. Their soul rejects anything that doesn't match their assignment. They can sense when a job, friendship, or environment is too small for who they're becoming. And the moment they step outside of God's blueprint, life itself feels off-key. Deep purpose fuels them the way oxygen fuels life. It gives them clarity, strength, and direction. It awakens parts of them they didn't know existed. And when they finally begin walking in their calling, they feel an undeniable inner alignment, as if every struggle, every heartbreak, every season of waiting was leading them to that exact moment. This addiction is divine design. God uses it to pull them out of mediocrity and push them into greatness. Chosen ones are not meant to exist. They are meant to impact. They don't seek purpose to feel important. They seek it because their very soul demands it. Their destiny isn't just their future, it's their oxygen. 1. The attachment to growth. Pain feels like fuel to them. For chosen ones, growth isn't optional, it's instinct. While others avoid difficulty, chosen ones lean into it with a strange, unexplainable courage. They don't chase pain, but when pain finds them, something miraculous happens. It becomes fuel. Failure becomes fire. Loss becomes wisdom. Hardship becomes training. They evolve through everything meant to break them. This attachment to growth is a divine imprint. God wires chosen ones with a spirit that refuses stagnation. They don't know how to stay down. They don't know how to repeat the same cycles blindly. Even when they hit rock bottom, they begin analyzing the ground, learning from the fall, studying the cracks, and planning their rise. Setbacks don't discourage them. They awaken them. Where others see endings, chosen ones see beginnings in disguise. Where others panic, chosen ones reflect. Where others crumble, chosen ones transform. Their pain does not paralyze. It instructs. And this reaction is not natural. It is spiritual training. God intends for their wounds to become weapons, their struggles to become strength, and their tears to become testimonies. Every challenge they experience deepens them. Every disappointment sharpens them. Every betrayal matures them. They collect lessons the way others collect regrets. Even in moments of heartbreak, part of them whispers, "What am I meant to learn from this?" That mindset is why they rise faster than those who try to break them. This addiction to becoming better often confuses people around them. Others wonder why they move differently, heal faster, or bounce back with a force that doesn't make sense. It's because chosen ones are built for elevation. God shapes them through fire, refining, purifying, strengthening. He takes their pain and molds warriors out of it. The truth is, chosen ones don't just survive storms, they study them. They walk out wiser, stronger, and more spiritually equipped. Every setback becomes a staircase. Every challenge becomes a chapter. Every wound becomes an awakening. They are not addicted to pain. They are addicted to growth. And under God's hand, growth turns them into warriors who cannot be defeated by the same weapons that once wounded them. 1. The compulsion to protect others, even when no one protects them. Chosen ones carry a heart that was crafted, stretched, and softened by God Himself. While many people guard themselves first and think of others second, chosen ones are wired the other way around. They step into danger for people who would never do the same for them. They comfort others even while their own hearts are bleeding. They defend people who speak against them behind closed doors. This isn't weakness, it's divine design. There is a shepherd spirit living inside every chosen one. They feel responsible for souls, emotions, and atmospheres. When someone is hurting, they sense it before a word is spoken. When someone is being mistreated, something in them rises with righteous fire. When someone feels unseen or unheard, chosen ones instinctively pull them close. Their compassion is not passive. It is fierce. But this compulsion comes at a cost. Chosen ones often find themselves giving more than they receive, loving harder than they are loved, and protecting people who were never assigned to protect them back. Their hearts bruise easily because they feel deeply. Their empathy is a double-edged sword. It empowers them to heal others, but it also makes them vulnerable to betrayal. Yet God allows this, not to weaken them, but to train them. Their tenderness becomes a weapon. Their compassion becomes a calling. Their heartbreak becomes a ministry. They don't just lift people, they restore them. They don't just offer comfort, they breathe life back into broken spirits. God uses their soft hearts to mend hard places in the world. This addiction to protect others is a sign of their spiritual royalty. They carry the DNA of leaders, healers, and reformers. They are the ones who stop storms, not for themselves, but for others caught in them. They are emotional first responders, spiritual guardians, and silent warriors standing between others and destruction. And though they are rarely protected the way they protect others, God Himself becomes their shield. He covers the ones who cover many. He strengthens the ones who strengthen all. He rewards what people overlook. Chosen ones were never meant to just care. They were meant to carry. And through their compassion, God heals nations. 1. The fascination with the unseen, because they sense what others pretend isn't there. Chosen ones live with one foot in the natural world and the other in the unseen. They don't just observe life, they discern it. Long before events unfold physically, they feel them spiritually. A sudden heaviness, an unexplained peace, a shift in atmosphere, a strange awakening at night. Chosen ones notice what others overlook and sense what others dismiss. This sensitivity is not imagination. It is a spiritual antenna God installs in them. They can walk into a room and instantly know who carries light and who carries darkness. They can feel when someone's smile is fake, when someone's intentions are polluted, or when danger is quietly approaching. Their spirit reacts before their mind even understands why. Chosen ones often struggle to explain this gift. They know things without evidence. They sense battles without seeing enemies. They feel God's presence in moments that appear ordinary to everyone else, and because the unseen world speaks loudly to them, they cannot ignore it, even when others mock or misunderstand them. This fascination is not curiosity, it is calling. God gives chosen ones spiritual eyes so they can navigate a world that is more spiritual than physical. They are equipped to detect warfare before the attack begins, to sense angelic protection before the rescue arrives, and to perceive divine alignment before the blessing manifests. Their dreams are vivid. Their intuition is razor sharp. Their inner warnings are rarely wrong. And when their spirit feels unsettled, they pay attention. Because they have learned that God often whispers through discomfort. The unseen realm is not distant to them. It is a familiar territory. They don't chase supernatural experiences. They simply live aware of them. The veil between heaven and earth feels thinner around them, and their spirit reacts to every shift as if they are watching both realms at once. This divine sensitivity makes chosen ones powerful. It keeps them steps ahead of danger, aligned with God's timing, and aware of spiritual currents moving around their lives. Where others walk blind, chosen ones walk guided. Where others ignore signs, chosen ones interpret them. They are not fascinated by the unseen. They are partners with it. And that is what sets them apart. 1. The fixation on justice. They cannot tolerate evil. Chosen ones carry a fire inside them that refuses to stay silent when something is wrong. Where others shrug, ignore, or look away, chosen ones feel a spiritual disturbance. It doesn't matter how small the injustice is. Their spirit reacts instantly. Their conscience is louder, their convictions sharper, and their sense of right and wrong far more intense than the people around them. This fixation on justice is not self-righteousness. It is divine wiring. God places this burning sensitivity in His chosen ones because they are meant to confront what others tolerate. They are built to stand where the average person bows, to speak where others stay silent, and to fight for truth even when it costs them relationships, reputation, or comfort. Chosen ones don't just dislike evil, they feel it. In the presence of manipulation, cruelty, or hidden wickedness, something in them rises with a force that cannot be explained. It's not anger, it's righteous fire. Their spirit refuses to be passive in the face of darkness. And this is exactly why they often collide with the world. They expose what others protect, and they challenge what others obey. This divine intolerance is also why chosen ones experience more spiritual warfare than most. Darkness sees them as a threat because they cannot be bribed, broken, or blinded. They are the ones who dismantle generational curses. They are the ones who confront injustice in families, communities, and spiritual realms. They are the ones who refuse to normalize wrongdoing, no matter how common it becomes. But this fixation is not only about fighting evil, it's about restoring balance. Chosen ones carry a heart for fairness. They defend the weak, speak for the unheard, and protect the vulnerable without hesitation. Even as children, they hated bullying. As adults, they challenge corruption, deceit, and double-sided behavior. Their soul cannot rest until truth prevails. God gives them this addiction for a reason. They are His earthly justice carriers. They are the ones who shine light in places others fear to enter. They confront darkness not because they want to, but because their spirit won't let them do otherwise. Chosen ones are not just lovers of justice. They are instruments of it. 1. The pull toward purposeful relationships. They cannot stay where their spirit doesn't belong. Chosen ones don't choose their relationships the way ordinary people do. They don't connect based on convenience, excitement, or appearance. Something deeper guides them. They feel pulled toward souls that align with their purpose and repelled by connections that drain, diminish, or derail their spirit. This pull is not emotional. It is spiritual navigation. From a young age, chosen ones felt the discomfort of being in the wrong company. Their spirit would grow restless. Conversations felt empty. Energies felt off. No matter how hard they tried to fit in, something inside them refused to settle. God did that intentionally. He gave them a spiritual sensitivity that detects misalignment long before the mind catches up. This addiction to purposeful relationships makes chosen ones outgrow people at a faster pace than normal. They can love someone dearly, yet wake up one day and feel their spirit say, "Your time here is done." And when that inner voice speaks, they cannot force themselves to stay, not out of cruelty, but out of calling. Their destiny is too large to shrink themselves just to maintain a connection. Chosen ones are pruned by God, not the world. He removes people not because they are bad, but because they cannot walk with them into the next level. Some relationships expire because their season is complete. Some fall away because the chosen one's light exposes what the connection was hiding. Others simply fade because elevation demands separation. Even friendships that once felt comfortable can become spiritually suffocating if the alignment is lost. Chosen ones can sense when someone's presence weakens their purpose or disrupts their peace. Their spirit refuses to stay where it cannot grow. Their intuition becomes louder. Their discernment becomes sharper. God begins to disconnect them silently, surgically, purposefully. And though these separations often hurt, chosen ones soon realize they are divine protection in disguise. Every person God removes makes space for someone who will elevate, sharpen, and strengthen their journey. Chosen ones don't seek many relationships. They seek meaningful ones. They are not made for crowds. They are made for connections that push them toward destiny. Their circle is small, but their calling is great. 1. The need to understand their pain. They can't let a wound go. Wasted chosen ones do not move through pain the way others do. Most people try to numb it, forget it, or bury it. But chosen ones feel compelled to study it. They cannot simply hurt. They need to understand why. Every heartbreak becomes a lesson. Every betrayal becomes a revelation. Every storm becomes a classroom designed by God Himself. Their mind doesn't obsess over the pain. Their spirit does. It refuses to let a wound sit in darkness without extracting the wisdom inside it. Chosen ones ask deeper questions. What was this pain trying to teach me? What did this loss unlock within me? What version of me is being birthed through this suffering? This is not overthinking. It is divine processing. God made them this way because their future requires wisdom forged in fire. Their ministry, their calling, their leadership, none of it can be shallow. They are meant to speak with authority, heal with depth, and guide with clarity. And depth does not come from comfort. The chosen one's journey is filled with emotional autopsies. They break down every disappointment until they uncover the hidden message. They revisit past wounds not to suffer again, but to understand how God was shaping them. Pain becomes their teacher, not their prison. And once they learn the lesson, they never return to that version of themselves again. This is why chosen ones transform so dramatically over time. They do not repeat cycles. They break them. They do not cling to trauma. They mine it like spiritual gold. They do not carry bitterness. They carry wisdom. And that wisdom becomes the very thing that sets them apart from others. God allows this deep introspection because no pain in the life of a chosen one is accidental. Every tear has purpose. Every heartbreak carries instruction. Every storm is preparation for the souls they will one day help heal. Their pain becomes their platform. Their scars become their sermons. Their wounds become doors to deeper empathy, sharper discernment, and unshakable strength. Chosen ones don't just survive pain, they turn it into purpose. And that is why none of their suffering is ever wasted. 1. The obsession with destiny. They feel chosen. Even before they understand why. Even before chosen ones can spell the word purpose, they feel it. As children, they sense they are different, not better, but set apart. They don't fit in effortlessly. They don't blend into environments like others do. Their spirit whispers things their mind can't translate yet. They walk through life with a quiet awareness. There is something I'm meant to do. This inner conviction is not imagination. It is a divine seed. God plants destiny in the hearts of chosen ones long before life tries to distract them from it. They grow up with dreams that feel too big, thoughts that feel too deep, and questions that feel too spiritual for their age. They feel pulled by something invisible, guided by something unexplainable. Even when they wander, the pull remains. Even when they fall, destiny calls their name. This obsession with destiny becomes a silent fire as they age. The older they get, the louder the inner voice becomes. They might take wrong turns, entertain wrong relationships, or drift into wrong environments. But they can never stay there. Something inside refuses to settle. God placed an internal alarm that goes off whenever they step out of alignment. They feel restless in the wrong place, suffocated in the wrong life, and spiritually dehydrated when they try to live like everyone else. This obsession is God's way of protecting their purpose. It keeps them from dying in places that cannot birth their calling. It pushes them out of comfort zones that would shrink them. It drives them to transform, elevate, outgrow, and rise, again and again. Chosen ones often feel destiny before they understand destiny. They feel chosen before they know what they've been chosen for. That inner knowing becomes their compass, their anchor, and their spiritual engine. Even when they try to quit, destiny won't let them. Even when they feel unworthy, destiny still pursues them. This obsession isn't pressure, it's prophecy. It's the reminder that their life is not random. Their steps are ordered. Their path is sacred. Their calling is undeniable. Chosen ones don't chase destiny. Destiny chases them. Conclusion. Being a chosen one is not a title. It is a lifestyle, a calling, and a journey that few will ever fully understand. The addictions God places in your life, the craving for solitude, the hunger for truth, the restlessness for purpose, the obsession with growth, the compulsion to protect, the fascination with the unseen, the fixation on justice, the pull toward meaningful relationships, the need to understand pain, and the unwavering obsession with destiny, are not burdens. They are divine tools. They are the mechanisms through which God refines, sharpens, and elevates you. Every restlessness, every heartache, every season of isolation is a whisper from heaven saying, "You are being prepared for something greater than yourself." You may feel misunderstood, exhausted, or even alone, but that is exactly where God wants you. In the furnace, in the quiet, in the refining fire where the ordinary is stripped away and the extraordinary is forged. Chosen ones are designed to shine where darkness tries to settle, to rise where others fall, and to carry a light that cannot be dimmed. Your addictions are proof that you are not ordinary, that your path is divinely orchestrated, and that every challenge is shaping you for a legacy only you can fulfill. Never despise the cravings that unsettle you. They are signposts of destiny. Never run from the pull that others cannot understand. They are whispers of your calling. Stand firm, rise boldly, and embrace every divine compulsion. Because the very hungers that make life intense are the same ones that will make your impact unforgettable. You are chosen, you are being prepared, and the world has yet to see your full light.